Hey, it's Raven Tactical here. We're going to cover one more kind of PSYOP world news kind of event. We're going to probably have a couple more things coming up, hopefully this weekend, with maybe doing a couple reviews of some optics and scopes, and maybe even kind of do an SKS breakdown. Today's topic, and I'm going to totally steal using the fact that one of my favorite YouTubers, I believe it's CRC, uses a gigantic machete. We're going to use the K-bar here. The term Great Reset is probably the new term floating around Google. It's floating around all the YouTube channels. And you're seeing it pop up quite a bit. A lot of people are using this term, the Great Reset. Now, I talked about the country resetting itself too, as like perhaps in order to get what maybe the libertarian mindset of getting rid of a lot of regulations, the gun control issues, and a lot of these taxation things, you'd need kind of a total reset of government. I'm not saying that you would destroy the government, but I'm saying you need to pause and not restructure it, but basically start over. Start over kind of what the founders had. This, on the other hand, is not. It's the elite left, right? So you have the elite left, or just the elites in general. I don't think it's maybe necessarily a polarized thing. The elites control both sides. And what it is, I believe it's the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin, mentioned it, and basically on the news. So you're talking about it. They're not worried about hiding their opinions. They're not worried about hiding the agenda now. Agenda 21 kind of is a similar thing to a Great Reset. If you looked into it, Glenn Beck did a really nice 2-book series on what Agenda 21 would look like after it got kicked off, the result of it. It's kind of scary things because it's also things that Biden talked about in his basically his press speech or his debate with Trump. So what to expect, right? So if they do go forward with it, right? So when we're going forward with this Great Reset, things you're going to see. You're going to eliminate things like dependency on oil, where it's just going to be oil gets eliminated. So you're going to go with the green movement, push for the green movement. You're going to see things like coal shut down, oil shut down. Prices for electricity and everything are going to spike. What happens when it spikes? Well, people have to go heat their homes, and now they rely on more government aid. You're going to see more push towards solar, which is, in opinion, solar works, but a lot of these programs aren't capable of running a city or running a bigger place. So you're going to see more pushes for that. You're going to see the cost of living skyrocket because they're going to come after cows and cattle and say, well, the cows make farts, right? And that was in the Green Deal, and they're part of the greenhouse effect. So they're going to kill cows. You're going to see the price of beef raise, and basically it's going to go to more of a vegan style. You're going to see things like that. The automobile is pretty much gone unless you can afford a Tesla, which only very wealthy people can. And also electricity is made very expensive. So those things are going to be expensive. So watch basically for the divide between, basically I'll write this out. So you're going to see, you'll see basically this. So you have poverty, middle, and basically call it rich. So majority of the world sits in here, but this is going to get eliminated, and you're going to have maybe your 1% or less hitting here, and about 99% here, the poverty level. Why? Middle class gets wiped out. Middle class is the thing that actually buys things and does things. This class sits here and basically relies on government. It's not to shame people who are, but it's just what it is. Middle class is going to go. Nobody can afford the middle class who pays all the taxes and pays all these things. So you're going to see that. What it's going to mean too, it means a few things. One, your life changes. Reset basically is going to be part of a new world order movement. It's going to be pushed towards maybe like a one world religion, where the religion is basically environmentalism. You're going to see things like that. You're going to see things where, so the environmentalism becomes a religion. You're going to see things towards unity in the entire world. So you're going to see things like maybe nations and borders get divided, go away, right? So certain things I would say, like countries like China and Russia who are becoming superpowers, maybe would have a conflict with it. So you might see some sort of World War III, a temporary World War III, kind of that basically eliminates or sets things off in motion. A couple things that you have to understand too is what I don't see on there is a lot of people don't talk about it. So my thing is why America has to fall for this to happen. So, I mean, not to say that America, like Independence Day, saves the world every single time, but for the most part we do. A world without the United States is a world that basically lets evil rule. I mean, I don't really like being the world's police in some cases, but we are the deterrent to a lot of other things. So I think it's important to know that when Biden and Harris win and basically destroy the country in the sense that they lower us ability to make us be able to fight or defend or be a deterrent, because they're going to be joining sides with this new world order. They're going to be pushing us towards it. They're going to weaken the country to the point where America's not effective. And it's kind of just, a destiny for it, because once America falls, there's really not much. You have countries like China and Russia, Iran, who are more, I would say, morally not. They're morally for themselves. And that's fine. Everybody's a nationalist. You should be proud of your country. But I think those countries are going to start taking over. A push for New World Order will happen. I mean, it's kind of the way it's going to go. I don't foresee us, America, staying here forever. Empires die off, right? We kind of had a short empire run, and it's unfortunate. If Trump wins, I think even if Trump wins, the election probably won't even matter much, because with a Trump victory, all they're going to do is argue, fight, and sue that Trump stole the election, much like we're doing now. I think the election fraud did exist. How we're going to prove it, how we're going to win, that I'm not sure. Expect chaos on that level. So, a couple things with this Great Reset too is you're going to see a one world currency, and if the currency is going to be digital. I know biblically that talks about this in Revelations about, you can only buy from this if you make your mark with the beast, and you can only worship the beast. But in my opinion, a one world currency is possible now. I mean, with Bitcoin and kind of things like that, a digital currency works. I mean, people right now, this generation, Gen Z, barely uses cash. I'd say Gen Z uses Venmo. It's on their phone. You don't even have to have a credit card anymore, an actual credit card in your hand. It's a digital credit card on your phone, right? Fast pay, quick pay. It wouldn't take much. So, I mean, if you think about it that way, the technology's here for it. As our country does fall and collapse, I don't know. Things you can do, though, I mean, the same thing. We're a prepping channel, right? We're a homesteading prepping channel, kind of a patriot channel, We believe in self-reliance and self-defense and sustaining yourself. So if you have it by now packed up and got together, you really should start putting things together. You really do need food. You really do need all these things. And yeah, right now it's bad. You can't find a lot of these things because we've warned you ahead of time. When the times were good, people didn't stock up as much as they should. And we're guilty of some of it. We went through and did an inventory towards the beginning of this COVID, and we looked at it and went, whoa, we don't have as much as we thought. And I really honestly would say more people overestimate their food than they should, or overestimate their food sources. Because it's very easy to say, yeah, I got a couple of years, and you go down there and go, oh, maybe I don't, or maybe this is expired because I haven't looked at it, or, we haven't looked at this and the mice got to it, or, you know what? The calorie count doesn't add up, and I actually don't have the kind of food. Ammunition, if you can get it. Food, water, shelter. If you live up by us, heat, being able to heat your house with wood. If you live down south, you still probably have to have something. You have to be able to cook. So get with your friends, get with your community. I would say having several people in your neighborhood is better than having several people who live in different states and they're on your Facebook militia group or your Facebook prepper group. Those people aren't going to come to your house, when times are bad. They're not working with you every week or every weekend. So that sucks. But make sure that you have people in your group who are within, I would say if you have people within your group within a few hours, that's perfect. They can come, times get bad, and they can work it out. I know I kind of went to a tangent and rambling about prepper groups, but I'm going to cut this a little short. or cut it long, I guess. So, anyways, the Great Reset right now is something to keep an eye out for. I would assume it's coming. Just the way the election went and the way the fraud happened, the way basically the whole world worked against that election. And it was taken from us. There was also a bunch of other things that are going on. You could see it in the world as it's shifting. Morality and everything is gone. And it's kind of subjective too. But at the same time, be prepared. Be prepared for a very, very long 2021 and 2022. Don't expect this COVID lockdown to be released just because Biden won. No, they have the control now. They have the control of mass populations in fear. So please, again, prepare, get your family ready together, talk this through with your family, do some more research on the Great Reset, and actually look it up. There's plenty of other channels out there. It's Untitled Chapter out.